What's up, YouTube? For today's video, with a full sleeping ability Pokemon team. Bowser, this one is for you. So today we're going to go over all 6 specialized abilities: Bad Dreams, Comatose, Insomnia, Vital Spirit, Sweet Veil, and Early Bird, and put them all onto one team. I had some pretty funny battles with this team, and I also wanted to come up with strategies that would sort of work with these abilities. And funnily enough, there were 6 of them. I have got 5 battles today, and I know I've had a lot of people ask me about Mega Dragonite and stuff. I will talk about that in this video too, don't worry. Alright, first battle here, we have got a random battle. This one is against Madison, and we have a Darkrai lead here. I'm going to be using my Sarita. Now, some of my troll community came up with some pretty good nicknames there, so, you know, they sort of just stuck. I had this interesting battle here. Now, this was actually the last battle that I had after doing all these teams and stuff. And I had it was like a full legendary team, right? So they had all legendary. So I thought, I wonder how much they know about some of these Pokemon, right? So what I tried to do there, I guess I tried to mess with them a little bit, right? So I got rid of Darkrai's Bad Dreams, I gave it Worry Seed, and then I wanted to see how many Pokemon they actually knew that, you know, couldn't go to sleep and stuff. So this Darkrai seemed to just be a typical special attacker, or sweeper special attacker with Dark Void. And they even put my Komala to sleep. The homie was named Sleep 24/7, and they even went for the sleeping move. So this Komala set is a Sleep Talk Double Edge, Gunk Shot, Earthquake set. And I actually managed to get some good damage off there against the Darkrai, but I didn't want the trolling to end. I wanted it to continue, right? So I'm like, well, they've seen 3 of my Pokemon. How about we really try and see what happens here with my Girafarig? So Girafarig was an early bird set there, but then I changed my mind. Like, no, I'm gonna try something else first. So I went into Lycanroc. They took the bait, and we got Vital Spirits. They've actually put 5 of my Pokemon to sleep right now. No, 4 of them, right? My other Pokemon, of course, is Darkrai as well. But since I gave them Insomnia, well, I couldn't really use my own, sleeping move on them. Now watch this, right? So the Darkrai is going to go for a Dark Void. It's going to put my Girafarig to sleep. However, since I rolled a turn 1 Wake Up plus Early Bird, it instantly woke me up, which is really cool. So I was able to get a Calm Mind off it. Not that I could do anything to Darkrai because it was a stored power set. I sort of just wanted to, you know, mess with them a little bit. So I stayed and used Calm Mind again there. They're going to put me to sleep again with the Dark Void. So I was like, I'll go 6 Calm Minds. Let's see what's going to happen here. And then a moment I woke up again, they salty rage quit. You know that switch got snapped in half. They got absolutely played like a fiddle that whole battle. I don't think that Switch 2 survived. It really did. I just wanted to show you that battle because it was really funny. It was one of the last battles I did, and I felt like I was in quite a trolling mood. I know that surprised you. All right, let's get on to battle number 2. If you enjoyed that first battle, hit that like button, people. Support the channel. Tell me what your favorite sleeping move is. And I tried to include some other moves as well in there that had to do with sleeping, like Worry Seed, like changing the opponent's ability to Insomnia. All right, our next random battle here. This one is against Eureka. I'm not really sure how to say that. But we got a Scarlet lead. So I'm going to be getting rid of that with my Lycanroc, which is a Focus Sash, Counter Endeavor, Sucker Punch, and Close Combat set. So fortunately for me, they actually brought in their Clodsire, and they underestimated what I'd be able to do to them. So on 1 HP, I can go for Endeavor, and I can virtually get a double KO here against them with Lycanroc, which is really good. So this one had Vital Spirit. So Vital Spirit virtually just means the Pokemon can't fall asleep. And also, if you get given the Vital Spirit ability while you're asleep, it'll actually wake you up too. So it's an interesting ability, I guess. Next Pokemon here is going to be Ogerpon. This is actually a very good counter to my team. So I'm going to go for the Endeavor. I put it on 1 health, and Lycanroc Midnight virtually took 3 Pokemon out by itself, which is, absolutely incredible. So I was very, very happy about the start of that battle. Absolutely got squeezed everything I could out of, Lycanroc. Next Pokemon going to be Serena with a sus name, I know, but, it's all good. So we got this mix set. We got Aqua Pressure on there. Aqua Pressure randomly raises a stat by 2 stages. We got Trop Kick for a physical move, Giga Drain for a special, and Draining Kiss on there too. I've got Terra Fairy and Sweet Veil. Sweet Veil, basically, it does the Pokemon and the allies can't fall asleep. And same as the other one. A good example of a Pokemon is Delibird too. Now, Delibird gets 2 sleeping abilities and they're virtually both the same. So that's like a Pokemon that's, I don't know, they need to definitely rework its abilities because I don't know why they did that for. Giving it, they gave it Vital Spirit. And they also gave it, Insomnia as well, I believe. So they gave it like 2 sleeping abilities. So Ceruledge is going to be doing its thing, spamming the Bitter Blade here. This Komala set is based around Sleep Talk. And the Sleep Talk you can use straight away at full health with the Comatose ability. So Comatose, basically, it's sleeping all the time. It can't be statused. And you can just use that. The best little strategy you could do with it, not this generation, was Last Resort. You could go Sleep Talk and Last Resort. But Last Resort was actually lost on Komala this gen, which really, really sucks. So I sort of just had it as I guess you could say, a Russian roulette set there with 3 moves and which one it would use. I thought it could be fun for this team. So we got Ogerpon coming with a superpower, and that's going to finish off my Komala. Komala was max health and max attack Adam and Nature too, and had a Citrus Berry as its item. So I thought I have to get rid of this. This is a big threat to my team. So we went into Scovillain. So Scovillain is the only Pokemon that learns Worry Seed and has a sleeping ability too. Because I was going to use Ariados, but I couldn't find, like, it didn't learn Worry Seed, and I really wanted Worry Seed onto this team. So this is like a really tanky set. So we've got Will-O-Wisp, Leech Seed, Worry Seed, and Headbutt, Flinch Spam. Bright Powder is the item. Max Health and Speed, Jolly Nature. So we're going to burn the Petrine coming in here, which is good. And then I'm going to go for the Worry Seed. So Worry Seed is going to get rid of its ability, which was Poison Puppeteer. So that's good, right? Because that ability is very, very annoying. So, say they poison me here. Not that I would have lived that, I would have been instantly confused afterwards. So it was good to get around that ability. However, they can swap out and get rid of it though. But I just wanted to do a bit of damage there before I fainted. So this Pokemon caused me the most problems at the moment with this team. So I've got 2 more Pokemon left. I was like, let's go into Sweet Dreams. This is my Darkrai. Now, I had to nerf this set a little bit because Darkrai is a very, very good Pokemon. So I came up with a true PIMPNITE special. So I've got Hypnosis and Dream Eater and Dark Void and Curse. So this is a little bit of a throwback to my favorite Darkrai set from Generation 7. If you remember the move Nightmare, which is really, really cool. It's a move that only works when the opponent is asleep, and it does like gradual damage to them, like the opponent actually has a nightmare. And you could stack it with Bad Dreams, right? So Bad Dreams does, an 1/8 of the max health each turn. So it's sort of stacked with that. And then you could have Dream Eater as well, and giving you health back, which was really, really fun. So I thought I'd go Terra, Ghost, and Curse to sort of act as the nightmare, you know what I mean? That was my way of doing it. So I got the Curse up, but unfortunately my opponent actually got a lucky poison there on my Darkrai, because then I was like, unfortunately I couldn't put it to sleep because I did burn them. So I should have tried to go for like Hypnosis or Dark Void, then Dream Eater. But in this case, I just put a Curse on them. So yeah, maybe I should have. I had to sort of watch out with that Scovillain set, because sometimes I wanted to use Darkrai. And, if I gave them, the ability, then I couldn't. Insomnia, I couldn't put them to sleep right. So we're gonna swap out the Darkrai. I know there's some Stealth Rocks on the field, but I've got a plan. I just got to execute it. So we've got a Curse on them at the moment. They've used their Terra. They're obviously going to use Shadow Ball, so perfect swap in. Now, this Girafarig set, as you got to see, was the Bulky Calm Mind set. Now, this has Rest, Calm Mind, Stored Power, and Agility. We got max health and max defense, bold nature with Everlight. So early bird, basically what that does, the Pokemon sleep counter drops by 2 instead of 1. So what that means is normally you'll sleep for 2 turns. With early bird, you'll sleep for 1 turn, right? And in the first battle you got to see against that Darkrai, I actually instantly woke up from the sleep that turn. I had a turn 1 wake up, and then early bird brought it forward to 0 turns, which is really, really cool. And I actually rolled that twice. In fact, I'm pretty sure in a video previously in the last week or so, I did the same thing too. So interesting little mechanic there with early bird and how sleep works and stuff like that. So they're going to be forced to swap out here, and we got a Tinkaton coming in here, which is good. So I'm going to try and get my speed up because I need to be able to outspeed that Ogerpon, and I don't want to get critted actually. So I've got Carmine, and I need a lot of Carmines here to take out this Tinkaton, right? Because it is going to resist, and Tinkaton's got some... It's got some pretty good base special defense too. So they're going to use knockoff, which really sucks. They're going to get rid of my Everlight. I'm like, all right, I'm now vulnerable on the defensive side, right? But, does it have Gigaton Hammer? Like, what's it going to do? If it has Gigaton Hammer, will it be able to fate me at, max health and max defense? So I started to go for stored power, and it was a 3-hit KO. So they've got Skitter Smack instead. I was like, oh, that's super effective, but... I mean, it's good that it's not doing a lot of damage, but it's bad that it's dropping my special attack. So, in fact, it's actually weakening my my stored power. So I thought, well, I guess I'll start going for Carmine here, and then I'll go for Rest afterwards, right? So now they're going to go for Skitter Smack. Skitter Smack actually misses there. For some reason, the move Skitter Smack is not 100% accuracy. Don't ask me why, because it makes no sense whatsoever. It's a very, very sort of like weak supporting move. So we're going to close our peepers there and go to sleep and see if we can get some more Carmines up here. The good thing about it, even though my special attack was getting dropped by Skitter Smack, I still had that special defense boost, bolstering up stored power, right? So I'm going to sleep for 1 turn here. They're going to go for knockoff. Knockoff isn't doing a lot, because now it was good getting rid of my item, but now knockoff isn't going to get its bonus damage because I don't have an item. So they really need a powerful attack here. Obviously, they don't have Gigaton Hammer, otherwise they would have used it already. I thought I could get around them with Gigaton Hammer as well. They'd have to use a weaker move on the next turn there, but clearly they don't have it. So I'm going to keep going for rest here. I've got absolutely no choice. If I swap in my Darkrai, it dies to Stealth Rock, and this is on my last Pokemon. So I know that I can beat Ogerpon. I know that I can outspeed it and finish it off. And I know that I can beat Petron. I just need like enough boost to, to one-shot it. And same with this Tinkaton, right? So I'm sleeping again here. There's a lot of sleeping in this video. And we got another Skitter Smack. So now they're dropping my my special defense, special attack again. I'd used agility once, so I thought maybe I should try and just feint this now and get rid of it. I've got quite a few boosts up here. So Tinkaton is going to spam the knockoff button, and I've got stored power left. I could just get rid of it now. I thought I could, or I could go rest again. I was like, I'm going to go for one final rest. I just want to make sure I can outspeed Ogerpon. So with this set here, I've got no EVs and speed. I feel like that's still going to be enough with 85 base to outspeed Ogerpon. I don't think they can still outspeed me. I was just being very, very cautious here, extremely cautious. Especially if, say Petron lived and stuff, and then I failed to take it out. So they were dropping my special attack here, which kind of sucked. And I went another agility, just in case. I think I was just very, very wary of getting outsped by the Ogerpon. So they're going to keep spamming knockoff here. They're pretty much walled. They can't do enough damage to feint me here. With Gigaton Hammer, I'd say they would have. They would have gone Gigaton Hammer than knockoff, but, it doesn't really do a lot of damage, especially with Sword Dance. It might have done, let's say, 60% of my health, I reckon, to max health, max defense. Anyway, I finally got rid of the Tinkaton there. I'm going to outspeed Ogerpon, and I'm going to put it away with stored power. It only had 1 health from Endeavor anyway. And the last Pokemon is Petron, which we got to see before, and we know they've already terrored. And they've already taken a quarter damage there from that combination of Curse and the Burn. So I was pretty confident here I had enough to take it out. And I did. That was a reverse sweep there from the Girafarig. And that is GG. Quite a good battle there for sure. Lycanroc truly gave me a good start to that battle, taking out almost 3 Pokemon there. Very, very good start there. All right, let's get on to battle number 2 here. We'll talk about Mega Dragonite 2 in a bit during this video. I did see it yesterday. I did, don't worry. I don't know. We'll talk about it in a sec. All right, next battle here. This one is against Wheeljax, and we have a physical Ribombee, and it hit me with U-turn, which did a lot of damage. I know it was a crit, but I'm like, man, that may have choice band, judging on the damage that it did. So next Pokemon is going to be Clefairy, and I'm going to go for Worry Seed, getting rid of its ability, which was Magic Guard. So I'm like, that's actually good, because now I can use Will-O-Wisp and Leech Seed, and it'll actually affect the Clefairy, before it wouldn't, right? So that was actually pretty nice. So I went for the Leech Seed here on the Clefairy. This thing was really, really bulky. Very, very bulky. So it's going to use Nightshade, and that's going to be enough to faint me, sadly. I was hoping I had, at least 51 health, but I didn't. I just had, like, under it. So we're going to go up to Komala. Now, Komala, look, I could use, like, my other moves. I don't have to go for Sleep Talk, but, for this theme, I felt it was appropriate mostly to use Sleep Talk, because I'm using a sleeping ability theme. If it really, really cost me the game and I had to use a certain move, I would do it. But apart from that, I sort of left it up to a little bit of chance. So Comfy's not going to take some very good damage there. And then it used the Forbidden Healing move, So they're trying to stall me out here. I feel like Double Edge will do a lot of damage, and Gunk Shot will one-shot them. And I actually managed to get Gunk Shot, and Comfy is going to get Gunk Shotted in one shot, which is excellent. Now, this team, I noticed, is actually pretty weak to Gunk Shot. Now we've got Ribombee coming back in here, so I know it's got U-turn. I'm sure it's got some sort of other move that, maybe a fairy move, but then he used Lunge, and Lunge actually dropped my attack there, and it did a good amount of damage, so it definitely is choice banded, for sure. Like, I can tell by the damage. So I went for Sleep Talk again. I was like, I'm just going to, roll it up to chance, and it got Gunk Shot. So Gunk Shot is going to take Ribombee out, which is really good. And that's the end. That said U-turn, and it had Lunge. I don't think its physical move pool is very expansive. I don't even know if it has Play. I think it might have Play Rough. That's about it. So in comes Poltergeist, and they did a double swap there. So I'm like, I don't know why they did that for, but maybe maybe they expected me to go for another move. I'm not really sure. See if I had like another move on there. And Lunala swapped it and avoided my attack. Now, I would like to get some damage on Lunala due to its ability. Even if it's like, even a Gunk Shot will be good, right? So Will-O-Wisp is not going to work with Comatose. I was like, what is this set? Like, what is it a physical set? Does it have, like, Hex or something? I just went for Earthquake here, just for some damage there. Look how small the Earthquake is under Luna. It's like a little tiny crack in the ground. And there's like, oh, I see, it's Lunala trying to be a Zoroark, So we're going to go for Double Edge, which, of course, is not going to work on Lunala. And, that's the only bad thing about this matchup. So Night Days can actually drop accuracy, too. It's like got like it's a high chance, like 30 or 40%. And I'm going to go for Earthquake again here. It's not really doing much damage. Not that I can really do much of this at all. So I'm just going to sack this off, and I'm going to bring another Pokemon that actually can do some, some damage to it. So Komala is down, which is all good. It did a pretty good job. We're going to go into a Lycanroc here. So I looked at my Lycanroc, said, like, I've got Sucker Punch on this. That's good. I can't really do much else than that. So maybe I could go Sucker Punch and then feint it. So I went Sucker Punch, and I was like, all right, they're going to go Will-O-Wisp here. And Will-O-Wisp, of course, is gonna land. I was hoping it would be Will-O-Mish, But yeah, as for Mega Dragonite, guys, I wasn't... What do you think of Mega Dragonite? Please let me know in the comment section. I wasn't really excited about its design, to be honest. Like, the wings randomly attached to its head. The tail did make sense, but the Dragonair tail, I guess you could say, made sense. But I wish it was something a bit more exciting. They just put wings on its head and like one bead on its tail. Like, I don't know, maybe it'll grow on me, but I wasn't super impressed. Tell me what you think in the comments. I like to hear you guys' opinions and stuff. I'll probably talk about it a little bit more on my stream in the morning too, but let me know what you think of, Mega Dragonite. And the ability, I reckon it would be nice if it got something like Aerial Ape. That'd be, make up for it. And it's still gonna, apparently it's still a dragon and flying type as well. So maybe, I feel like that design could have been a dragon and fairy when you look at it. But maybe they didn't want to copy like Mega Altaria or something like that. Anyway, we're going to go for Hypnosis on the Darkrai. Now, obviously, the reason I put 2 sleeping moves on this Darkrai was due to the team I was using. For no other reason, right? Hypnosis actually has more accuracy than Dark Void too. So you'll find that used a lot more on Darkrai than Dark Void. Maybe not in doubles though, but still, it's absolutely terrible actually. So what I was trying to do here with this set, I was trying to use Bad Dreams and Dream Eater to feint the Lunala. I didn't really have much else to use it either. So we're going to get some nice little Bad Dreams damage there, and that actually feints the Lunala, which is cool. Now we've got Clefairy left, Primarina, and Poltergeist still. So Primarina is going to definitely be a problem with any sort of fairy type move is going to be difficult. So I thought maybe I should just go for Dark Void and put it to sleep, or should I swap here? That was the question, because Dark Void and Hypnosis were very, very inaccurate. So I went for Dark Void and it landed, which is pretty cool. I didn't really come across a lot of players online that had nullifying abilities like that, or I already knew them myself anyway. And a common one can be like Spidops with like Insomnia and stuff like that. So I decided to go for Terra here. I was like, let's go for Terra. I'll go for Terra Ghost. I'll put a curse on Primarina, and then I'll go for Dream Eater. Now, usually I was like, do I want to put the entire team to sleep with Hypnosis? Generally I didn't, but if it meant me having no other choice for me to stay in the battle there, I would do that. That's why I sort of had I guess you could say a little rule there, like if I was going to be too scummy or not. But then again, Hypnosis and Hypnosis and Dark Void were very, very low accuracy moves too. So the chances of me, continually putting Pokemon to sleep weren't all that good. So Primarina is going to swap out, and we've got Clefairy coming in. I'm going to go for Dream Eater. Obviously, Clefairy isn't asleep here, so it's not going to happen. So I decided, look, I'm going to swap out. I'm going to try my other Pokemon first. And also, I don't really want to miss my attacks against Clefairy, because I might have a Fairy-type move too. So Clefairy is going to have Calm Mind. That is going to be very, very bulky for sure. Like this battle, actually today's battles, I've got 5 of them, but they were really, really long battles. Really, really long ones. So I thought I'd try and set up some Acro Pressures here. Maybe I could get, some attack boost, like with attack, and then use Trop Kick. That might be a good idea, but I'd have to roll them, and I'm sure this Clefairy has a special attacking move on top of with that Calm Mind, so it could be stored power 2, which could be very, very bad. So now we've got a Terra Clefairy, and it's got a ginormous Love Heart on top of its head. So it's like, all right, it's got a fairy type move. So I'm going to kick Clefairy, and it did 2 damage. So there's not much I could do there, and it's going to have Moonblast. I'm like, oh, that's not good at all. I don't know, is this apparently this is some sort of theme team. I'm not sure if anyone can guess what it is. If you can, put it in the comment section. I'm trying to think what it is. I know it's definitely, it's not a mono fairy team, obviously. I'm just trying to think. Oh, maybe it's something to... It could be something to do with the moon, but what does Ribombee have to do with the moon? I don't know. If anyone can figure it out, let me know. So that's going to be the end of my Serena. I was like, well, I've got Darkrai here. I guess I can have a roll at Hypnosis and something like that and maybe try and put it to sleep. But the problem is, right, Bad Dreams won't affect it, and either will Curse. So the only play I've got there is Dream Eater, right? Now the Clefairy, of course, is going to have Moonlight, and it's going to get all of its health back. So I'm like, damn it. So this time, Hypnosis, thank goodness, it does land there. Speaking about some of the other Pokemon news as well, they showed Pokemon Champions, which is interesting. Now, if Pokemon Champions is done correctly, it'll be good. If it's not like, stuffed full of microtransactions and stuff like that. Apparently, after watching it, you can EV your Pokemon on there and give them natures, which is good. So all you have to do is put your Pokemon on there. It's unclear whether your IVs can be edited though with that game. I still think you have to have IVs of the Pokemon on there. So say if you wanted Trick Room and other stuff like that, or certain IVs for certain builds, foul play damage and stuff like that, you'd probably still have to get them and put them on, get them and then put them on the game. So I didn't see any of that, but it is interesting, and I will be covering Pokemon Champions when it comes out. It just depends how good it's going to be, guys. If it's a really good game, I can main it as content on my channel too, because it looks like you can use all the Pokemon on there, or eventually can, with the past mechanics. And then I could run that alongside, the current gen, because I don't think they'll stop doing, I definitely don't think they'll stop doing Generation 10. I think there'll still be battles and online battles on there, but obviously you could only use a certain roster of Pokemon and mechanics then, so I feel like it could work well alongside both of them, if you know what I mean there. So that's my thoughts on Champions. I know a couple of people want to ask about that, and I've gone over Mega Dragonite. Maybe its design will grow on me, but I don't really like it too much. And I'm kind of curious what its shiny is going to be. Are they going to keep the disgusting green? Hopefully not. The next worst thing would be if they make it pink. So I would like the blue Dragonair color. If they're going to take the tail from Dragonair, they can take the color from Dragonair too. But anyway, that's my thoughts. If you've got anything to add there, let me know. As for ZA, it's ZA. You guys know I'm not super into the Legends games. I like my multiplayer games the most, and clearly we're not getting a multiplayer in ZA. But, I'll still be playing and stuff on day one and things like that. But looking forward more to Champions and stuff like that. The NSO stuff, we didn't get any releases about that for Colosseum and Gale of Darkness. But I'm sure we'll get that in the coming months, I'm sure. But I think that's pretty much all the important stuff there. And then they had the shinies. The shiny Runarus Pokemon have finally been released as well. So I'll be covering Pokemon sweeps on those. And I'll be doing a new Runarus team too. And probably some teams solely based around each Pokemon. So just a little bit of stuff that's coming your way in the future. All right, let's get back to the battle. I thought I'd give you guys a lowdown what was going on there. So it was quite a good time to tell you all that too, because we had like a matchup with Girafarig and Clefairy here, both using Calm Mind and both doing damage to each other. But my Girafarig sort of outpowered the Clefairy in the end there, because it was getting additional boost there from Calm Mind and stored power is a lot more, as the battle goes on, it's a lot more powerful than just a normal special attacking move. So that is the end of Clefairy. Next Pokemon is Poltergeist. Now, Poltergeist, I've got stored power, I've got an agility up. I thought I'll just go for stored power here and add Sucker Punch. That's a physical set. So that took out my Girafarig there. Maybe I should have gone for Resh, I didn't want to stall anymore. I actually don't like stalling unless I absolutely have to, right? My last Pokemon is Darkrai, and I was like, let's go for Hypnosis to bypass the Sucker Punch, and they didn't Sucker Punch, but they went for Poltergeist instead, and it attacked my Darkrai. Obviously, I'm going to faint there. Oh, my Darkrai's item was Wide Lens as well, so I could, not miss the sleeping moves as much. That was max health and max speed, Timid Nature as well. Anyway, that is the end of the battle. Cool team there. I don't know what it was, though. Maybe someone can let me know in the comments if you figure something out. Let's get on to battle number 4 here. This one is against Bowser, and we have an interesting team here. So we've got a Smeargle lead. So Smeargle could be absolutely anything. You never know what Smeargle is going to be. Well, outside of real competitive stuff, it could be virtually anything. So Smeargle is going to use Fake Out there. It's a Technician Fake Out set. Now, it had Sing, but Sing's not going to work. Well, Sing's not going to work on any of my Pokemon. So I was like, I wonder what this trade is, like Stomping Tantrum or something. So I got Gunk Shot from Komala, and it took it to 1 HP, right? I was like, please poison, please poison, please poison. And it didn't poison. I was hoping for a salty finish there. So any of my moves are going to be able to take out the Smeargle here. And it's got False Surrender. I was like, that's a move you don't get to see very often. Grimmsnarl's signature move there. Also, my computer was freaking out during this battle there, so there's a couple of graphical glitches. I do apologize for that. That was just my old PC. Next Pokemon is going to be both got Komalas. All right, so we both have the sleeping ability. I'm going to go for Sleep Talk here. I have to say, it really sucks that they took out Last Resort on Komala, because that was it's the virtually this move is made for it. It's the best last resort user, you know, because it can just use Sleep Talk. So this one has, whoa, that has knockoff, and that took out my Komala. I would suggest you could do Choice Band on Komala too. Choice Band Sleep Talk, because that would work, you know. You could just keep using Sleep Talk with Choice Band, but you could bypass the use of Choice Band, you know what I'm saying? So that'd be really cool. Same with Choice Scarf, you know. You could go first still, but use multiple moves. So that's very unique in Pokemon. Unless you had something like, you know, Magic Room or something like that set up. So this is going to be some more Sleep Talks. I was like, wonder what this set is going to be. Then you use Ice Spinner. So it's a similar sort of set to mine. I was like, I don't know whether that's... I'm not really sure of the... I think it definitely is max attack, because I can see that. But maybe the Life Orb is carrying a bit of damage. So I actually managed to flinch the Komala there, which is pretty cool with Headbutt. I was like, I'm just going to keep spamming Headbutt, but I don't think they wanted to get flinched for, 100 turns in a row, right? The next Pokemon to come out is going to be Gimmighoul. So this is Gimmighoul in its roaming form. So this is from Pokemon Go. You can get it if you really, really want to use a roaming form Gimmighoul. And I can tell you what, it doesn't learn a lot of moves. So we're going to go for Worry Seed here on Gimmighoul, roaming form, and it had Runaway. Oh! Hey guys, do you reckon I should do a Runaway ability team? Like the worst ability in Pokemon battling? You know, it's like that, you know that Honey Gather team I did? I think we have to do a Runaway ability team. I think it needs to happen, you know? I'm sure there's 6 Pokemon. Well, surely I probably might even have to use Gimmighoul if there's not any other Pokemon. All right, so bringing in the Serena here, we got Trop Kick and Giga Drain. I'm going to actually set up against this thing, because why not, you know? It's not like it could do much damage to me. So it's going to use Power Gem on Serena. It actually does a pretty good amount of damage there. I'm just going to kick the coin. Another Focus Sash Pokemon. What is this? So it's got that Focus Sash. And I drops an attack, which, you know, it's going to change absolutely everything. Now it's going to have Shadow Ball, the tiniest Shadow Ball ever. And then I lived on 69 health there. So I can finish this with anything. You know what? I'm going to give... I was like, should I give it a kiss? But I was like, no, I'm going to boost up my stats first. This is actually perfect, you know. I can use this to boost my stats up with. Then I had Rest. I was like, I'm going to try to use Rest for Insomnia. Sorry. I didn't even know that it got res. So Gimmighoul tried to go to... That was salty. So I give him a kiss goodnight, you know what I mean? So they tried to go to sleep when I gave him a kiss goodnight, and then they got wet. Oh, but never mind. Just forget that. Anyway, that is the end of the Gimmighoul, and we got 4 more Pokemon left. Now, we've got Brute Bonnet here. Brute Bonnet has got a booster energy, and that's going to be boosting up its special defense. So it's like a tanky set. Now, all I've got here is Draining Kiss. I do have Terra Fairy, though, so I thought maybe I should do Terra Fairy. Let's see the damage first. And, well, yeah, you can kind of guess the damage there. The EVs on Serena, I don't know if I said them. Max Special Attack, and we got Max Speed, Naive Nature, because it is a mix set. So, you know, Acro Pressure was sort of like boosting its stats. So, this is... I think that was Thrash it actually had. That Thrash set? Yeah, I don't know what the strategy there is with Thrash. I have no idea. Maybe they want to get confused for some reason. I'm trying to think off the top of my head why it has that. I can't think of it at the moment. Another good move I could have included in this team would have been Uproar, because, you know, Uproar does wake up sleepy Pokemon, but I think that might have actually gone against my team a lot, especially if I put Pokemon to sleep, then I used Uproar and I woke them up. I don't think that would have been smart, you know. It could have been cool, but it wouldn't have really been too smart. So it also has Leaf Storm as well, and I actually lived that one. I've got no idea what this set is. It's Thrash and Leaf Storm. I was like, maybe it's got a jetpack to eject out of the Thrash confusion or something like that, but it had booster energy, didn't it? So it's going to snap out of confusion here, and it's going to go for Thrash again. Interesting. I don't know. So that is that's the Serena down. We got 3 more though. We got the Lycanroc. So Lycanroc can go for counter, but it's going to do nothing. I've got Close Combat. The reason I've just got Close Combat on here is so I can attack with Close Combat, drop my defenses, and then Focus Sash will activate on like even a neutral move will do a lot of damage to me. And super effective, definitely, you know. So that's the whole point of why I've got close combat on there. And for Ghost, I've got Terra Ghost for just any, you know, extreme speed Dragonites and other stuff like that. So Komala is going to come back in here. My computer wasn't having a good time today. I do have a new computer and all the parts and everything. I just got to put it all together and stuff. So it is coming, but I'm going to do some mega upgrades to my stuff at the end of the year. You know, before next year, I'm going to do some big upgrades and stuff for YouTube and stuff. So that should be awesome. We're going to go for counter here and take out the Komala. Bye-bye, Komala. We've got 2 more Pokemon left. The next one is going to be Kommo. Now, Kommo is going to be pretty good to actually go for Endeavor here for. So I was like, let's go for Endeavor, put it on 1 health, and then I've got my Girafarig in the back. So Brick Break is going to take out the Lycanroc there. It's funny there were 6 abilities for sleeping. I hope I didn't miss any, but I'm sure that was all of them. I'm sure that I didn't miss any. Sure that I didn't. Anyway, we're going to go into Sweet Dreams now, which is Darkrai. Like, this is perfect, right? I can put them to sleep and faint them with bad dreams. This is absolutely perfect. This is going to be pure assault, right? So I've got Hypnosis. But, oh, wait, no, this set. This is my Darkrai, right? And this is the battle I actually did. One of the first battles I did with this team, I forgot to actually edit the moveset. So, like, when I went in to change its moves, I forgot to give it Dark Void, and then I forgot to give it its moves. So I was rushing for stream, and I forgot to do that. So this is why its moveset looks like completely different. It has Sucker Punch and stuff on there too. I think that's actually a normal level up move that it gets, Sucker Punch. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, I didn't have quite the strategy. I had Nightshade instead of Curse, you know, like, it was a disaster. So I was like, well, I'll just try and work with what I've got here. I'll go for Hypnosis and put it to sleep there with Bad Dreams. But that's why I didn't have all my other, like the Curse strategy going there. I know you're probably wondering why that happened for. I think I got about 12 or 13 teams ready for stream, and I was rushing because I wanted to start at a certain time, and I forgot to do a couple of things like that. But, you know, that's life. Things happen. So I've got that Terra Ghost Nightshade. so bad. And then I've got Double Team too. So, I mean, Double Team's kind of scummy. That's actually kind of good. That would have actually worked well with Curse, because you could have like Terra Ghost Curse with Double Team, Hypnosis, and Dream Eater for the suck. And then you could get your health back, and then you could spam Double Team and keep doing Curse. That's actually a nasty set. I would never use a set like that, by the way. So I don't know what was going on here, what I was doing. I think... oh, no, that's when I noticed I brought the wrong set. There, that's right. So Kommo's got to swap out there because obviously they don't want to die to Bad Dreams. And we got a Pig coming in here. So the Pig is going to be able to get around my Nightshade. If I'd cursed there, it would have been a different story. So I cannot do anything here at all. I've got Sucker Punch and Hypnosis, and that's virtually it. My last Pokemon is the Girafarig, though. So Girafarig might be able to do something, but with its stored power. I mean, Kommo shouldn't be a problem because I could probably use an unboosted stored power and faint that anyway. So this is me trying to think out, like, this is me figuring out, like, why have I got these moves for? And then, you know, it suddenly clicked, you know, so that's why I was taking so long to make my moves. In the end, I decided to just go for Sucker Punch and do 2 damage. So we got a Terra here on the Pig, and it's going to be Terrified. Oh, it's bacon. I get it. You know, cooked bacon. Now I went for Sucker Punch, and well, I did no damage. I don't think I had any EVs in attack at all. In fact, I think it might have been. No, it was timid. So it was a Terra Blast Fire Pig, and that's a 2-hit KO. Now I couldn't really tell. I was like, is that physical or special? I had a bit of a feeling that I might be special because it probably should have done a bit more to that because I am running a sweeping set. So I decided to go for Hypnosis, and Hypnosis is going to miss, which really, really sucks. So Terra Blast is going to faint me. So with Hypnosis is 60% accuracy, and with Wide Lens you get 1.1. So what's that, like 66%? It's so bad. Actually, in fact, Hypnosis got nerfed over the years. You know, it used to be It used to be 65 in Gen 4, but for some reason, out of nowhere, they just dropped it. I don't know why. It doesn't even make sense, because like even 65 is like trash. You know what I mean? So, and then of course, Dark Void got its big nerf too. So, you know, Darkrai, kind of struggles to fit in there. Putting Pokemon to sleep, it's got to get very, very lucky. So swapping into my Giraffe now. Now I've got some options here. I thought, let's get some agility up first, in case Kommo's got like a little present. And I'm going to get the speed up, and I'm going to get the special attack up. Now, this is definitely a special attacking set, because I can see that it's got Mud Slap. Now, Mud Slap isn't very fun at all, because if I get all these boosts, say I sit here and get all these boosts up, right? If I've got -6 in accuracy and stuff like that, I'm probably not even going to land an attack for like forever. And I may like lose all of the PP on mine, because I'm not like I'm running Sleep Talk and Rest, you know, I'm running Early Bird. So I landed Sleep Talk, Stored Power, and that is going to take out the Pig there, which is good. So bye-bye Pig, no more Mud Slaps, you know. Last Pokemon is the Kommo, and I wasn't sure if it had anything to take me out here, but it was asleep, so I'm like, this is good, right? Even if I do miss maybe 1 or 2 times, I might be all right. But Stored Power lands on the first go, and that's it. That's the end of the battle there. Kommo is going to faint asleep, which is quite appropriate. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Some interesting Pokemon, Gimmighoul and Komala, some dual Komalas. Let's go into battle number 5. This is going to be our last battle for the sleeping ability team. I hope you enjoy these sort of unique teams too. I've individually done an early bird team, I know that. I don't know if I've done the other ones, though. I don't know if I've individually done those teams, but it is fun to do. Like, a lot of the time, I'll do 6 Pokemon with 1 ability, but sometimes then I'll group all the abilities into one team, too. It could be quite good, and you don't know what Pokemon are going to be on the team there. All right, this last battle, this one is against Huntdown, and we have another random nicknames team from the surprise trade. Now, we've got a Cacturne, which is pretty cool to see, and we've got a Skeledirge. So Skeledirge is going to be Terra Fire, which is, well, it's not much of a surprise, because I think it's called Flare Gun, and we're going to set up the siege against that. So this Skeledirge is going to have Blast Burn. It's like, that's going to really hurt. And I did have to worry about that one, because it critted me too. So Scovelin's entire family tree, all those capsicums, they all shriveled up, you know, like other things in the winter. So we're going to bring in the Komala there. We got that Sleep Talk. It's recharging anyway. I'm going to get that Sleep Talk, and I'm going to go for Earthquake. See, I probably could have gone for Earthquake there, but I felt it was against the spirit of this team, you know, and I felt like, you know, even if I go for Gunk Shot once or one of the other moves, I probably still could get around it. So they're going to swap out of the Skeledirge, and in comes Pomeranian. Okay. I don't know. Some of these nicknames are pretty random. So I'm going to go for the double edge there, and that completely dumpsters it in one shot. Completely dumpsters it. I did take some damage there. Isn't a Pomeranian like a breed? It might be a breed of a dog. I think Pomeranians are, unless I'm getting confused, but I think it is. We have a Cacturne here with Sandstorm, so I know. Why is that called M4? I don't know. I'm not sure why they called this M4. No, I'm trying to think of a reference. Absolutely no idea. Anyway, so of course I got Sleep Talk Earthquake. I was going for Gunk Shot and Leech Seed and Sandstorm. So definitely a scummy Sand Veil set, and setting a Leech Seed up. I don't know whether they keep the moves from the random Pokemon or they sort of like build a set around it. I feel like that's the second, the latter is the case there. So I've got a Citrus Berry, which is good. That's going to heal up that damage there. Cacturne's going to be virtually back to full health. So I'm going to swap that out. I don't want to allow it to get Leech Seed on any of my Pokemon. And we're going to go into Lycanroc. So I thought, well, close combat should do some good damage here. And if it does use Giga Drain, I can use Endeavor. So you did use Giga Drain, and let's be real, that crit didn't matter. Cacturne's actually got some nice offensive stats, and not only physical and special too. Very, very Very, very interesting Pokemon. I like Cacturne. It's just held back by, its speed and its type and stuff like that. But it learns some very, very cool moves. So I went for the Endeavor there on the Cacturne, put it on 1 health, and what are they going to get? 1 health left, so that's fine. It's definitely able to, to faint here. Let's say I'm the only way if I miss my move, So we're going to go into sleep 24/7, and I figured, well, it doesn't really matter what move I use here. I'm going to be able to take out the Cacturne, unless I miss the Gunk Shot. But I got Earthquake, and Earthquake missed. I'm like, I know it's Sandvale, but then Leech Seed misses. I'm like, that's pretty funny. So the Sandstorm is going to subside here, so now's my chancey. I can go for Sleep Talk, and we can take out that Cactus, right? We got that Earthquake. I do like Cactus, it's cool. So that you actually got a cool move like Rototiller, and they took out Needlearm too. Not that Needlearm was really good, but it was I think that was its signature move for it at one point. So in comes the Skeleturge again. This is actually pretty bad, so it's going to go for Rest. So it's got Rest and Blast Burn. What a set. So I need to hit this with like 2 Earthquakes would be really, really good. That'll definitely be able to take out the Skeleturge too. So we get Earthquake from Sleep Talk. Like, yes, that's really, really good. Great damage there. I almost took it out in 1 shot. So I can actually get Double Edge on it too because it's not a Ghost type anymore. That's true. So Skeleturge is sleeping this turn, and it's got Sleep Talk and Blast Burn. And it's going to get Rest, which is good, We got this sleeping team, which is nice, That's appropriate for this team. So I go for Sleep Talk again, hoping I get Earthquake, and I got Earthquake twice. I was like, yes. I guess it's a 1 in 3 chance there, because it's not like you can get Rest or anything, because you don't need to use Rest for Sleep Talk on Komala. It's quite cool. So Skeleturge is down. That's half the team. Our next Pokemon is going to be Hio. Did they try typing in Hypno's name in Mr. Beat? I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a Hypno. Thanks to my doctor, my hip no longer hurts. I know you guys were waiting for that one. We're going to use the Sleep Talk here and get Double Edge. Come on. And I got Earthquake 3 times in a row. That's pretty lucky. Now, this Hypno doesn't seem to be super bulky. And then it used Calm Mind. So, it's a sweeping set, but it's got Calm Mind instead of Nasty Plot, I guess. So it's going to boost up its special attack and special defense. I'm hoping I can get Double Edge here so I can fade it. And I got Earthquake 4 times in a row. I'm like, what the heck? That's really lucky. That's quite a low chance rolling from Sleep Talk. That's 1 in 3. Okay, I roll 1 in 3 times in a row. That's got to be like 10% or less. In comes Parmigiana. Oh no, I have no idea. Anyway, so in comes. I actually had a Parmigiana for tea, and it was pretty good. Tasted pretty nice. So this is Azumarill. It's going to be bulky, and Future Sight does a lot of damage there. It actually does a fair bit of damage. This Azumarill has leftovers too. Okay, so I'm going to use Sleep Talk again. And I got Double Edge this time, which is good. I kind of want a Gunk Shot, but I never got it, which sucks. Azumarill is going to be going for a Substitute here, but Substitute, only just gets one. Very, very close. So I got to break the Substitute here. I don't want them sitting behind it with leftovers. Is that like Magiania? And it's got like a bit of P in front of it? I have no idea why it's called that. I typed it in, and the only thing that comes up is the Pokemon Magiania. So I don't know. Maybe they're looking for one or something. So we've got Ackering and leftovers, which is going to be a bit annoying there. So it's going to be healing it up a lot. It's actually quite about time we got a new move like Ackering. That'd be interesting. We haven't had one of them for ages. So I'm going to go for Sleep Talk here, but they've got Aqua Jet. So that's going to be the end of my Komala. Not much I could have done. I could have gone for Gunk Shot, but as I said, it's against the spirit of the theme team to go for that. So I generally have some of my own rules I like to follow with the team. So I've got 3 Pokemon left still. This thing has got a quarter of its health. So we'll just go into Darkrai here. Sorry, not Darkrai, Serena. Now, I was a bit worried. I was like, I hope this doesn't have Sap Sipper. But firstly, I'm going to boost my stats with Aqua Pressure. So we're going to get a Defense Rise, which is good. And I eat that Play Rough with a snack. Now, I don't... judging on the damage, I don't know if this has got huge power. Maybe it's got Thick Fat instead It's either got Thick Fat or it's got Sap Sipper, right? So like, let's try. And I went for Giga Drain and it failed to take it out. But at least it didn't have Sap Sipper, so that was good. So it's got Thick Fat. So it's a mix set. Zerma's going to try for a substitute again, but no, it's not getting it anymore. It's had enough already. I'm not gonna allow it to sit behind the substitute and get like multiple turns of healing again, you know. So we got we got anything. We can use anything. So I went for Trop Kick and I kicked the Azumarill out of the battle. So we got that Hypno left with like hardly any health left. I think it's got like a little bit of health. And we got one more Pokemon. And this one is Supersonic! Exclamation mark. It's gonna see that Serena is holding a big root. Oh no. Now it's gonna go for Dragon Dance. And this is actually very, very bad. Because this is actually, like, flying Pokemon aren't bad against this team. So I went for Draining Kiss here, and it's a special Serena. It's not doing a lot of damage. So I really need some more damage. I was like, I can't really go for a Acro Pressure, and I got to get some damage right. I'm just going to keep going for Draining Kiss. So I went for Draining Kiss again. They're going to use Dragon Dance. It does get a couple of good physical moves, Noivern. I've got some good damage on it. I'm just spamming Draining Kiss, and it's got Leech Life. I'm like, oh no, this is very, very bad. This is bad, because now it's going to outspeed my whole team, and it has +2 as well. And I'm sure it's got some sort of other stab moves too, you know, outside of Leech Life. You'd imagine so. So we're getting some suck on each other, but unfortunately I don't have +2 in special attack, so I'm not doing as much for Draining Kiss as I would like, you know. Like, Leech Life is doing tons of damage, you know, to that Noivern. It's like, it's healing it up nicely. So going for my final go at Acro Pressure here. I got a Speed Sharp. I was like, that's good, but the problem is it already had +2 in speed. And then it had dual Wing Beat as well. I'm like, damn it. So he got its health back, then fainted me. So I've got 2 Pokeball left here. I was like, well, I've got Darkrai. I'll give that a shot, but that is going to be weak to Leech Life, right? Where's Darkrai's eye? What is on Darkrai's head? What is that? Like, what is that? The white thing on its head, the dangly white thing. So I don't know what it is. Anyway, Leech Life actually faints me, which doesn't really surprise me because it was a sweeping set. So Darkrai got dropped there. All I've got left is my Girafarig, but this is very weak to Bug. That's weak to Bug. Yeah, 3 of my team was weak to Bug. So Leech Life is going to stop most of my team here. I went for Agility to try and outspeed it so I could go first, but I would need like another Agility after that. So even my Everlight Girafarig wasn't able to live like 2 of these Leech Life, you know. There was absolutely nothing I could do. Stored Power was going to do donkeys. And yeah, that's the end of my Girafarig, and Noivern is going to, you know, reverse sweep the rest of my team. Hope you guys enjoyed all of these battles here with the Sleeping Ability team. I'll catch you guys for some more videos tomorrow. Peace out.